writing. Okay, so the next item on our agenda is the rich content editor. The rich content editor is what we use in Canvas whenever we have to write an assignment and submit it. And as of December 18th, this rich content editor is going to change. It's going to look a little different. Let me show you some of the changes. But before I do, go ahead and raise your hand up. Do you know if you are using the new content editor? If you know you're using the new one, go ahead and raise your hand so I can see. See Chiafan, anybody else? No. Okay, well, that's good. So this is going to be, I'm hoping this will be a helpful introduction to you to show you the differences between the new rich content editor and the classic one that most of you are probably using. In this slide, you see two screenshots, and the top is the new content editor and the bottom is the classic. So I'm actually going to walk you through. First of all, let's take a look at the classic content editor. All right. So you can all see my screen. You should see a screen that says homepage EL Civics number 33BL. Do you see that? Great. Okay. So what you see here, what you see right up here, I'm hoping you can see my mouse as I'm scrolling. This is the classic rich content editor. Most of you probably are currently using this content editor. As of December 18th, Canvas, this old classic content editor will no longer be accessible. You won't be able to use it. Instead, you will see a content editor that looks like this. Okay, you can see the difference here. Let me go back and forth. I'll toggle. Here's the old one. And here's the new one. So really the differences, the biggest differences are there are more tools available without having to click on a menu in the classic content editor. In the new rich content editor, in order to be able to see all of the tools, you actually have to click on, there are two bars here. The top bar is called the menu bar. This line right here, this bar is called the toolbar. So if you want to do various things, you can click on the menu bar. And you can see that a lot of the things are redundant. For example, here you see insert link. This is also on your toolbar in the new rich content editor. Here you see insert image. This is also on your toolbar in the rich content editor, the new one. So a lot of these things you can see right here to the right-hand side. Something that's kind of new and kind of nice is in the classic content editor, you cannot choose a font. In other words, you don't get to choose a different looking font. In the new content editor, you have a selection of fonts. So if you're feeling kind of playful one day, you can choose, this font. If you're feeling really old school typewriter, you could choose this font. So that's kind of a nice advancement that you have a choice of fonts. That's new. And here's where you would have all of your different font choices, including the text color and the highlighting background color. Some of those tools are also available here in the toolbar. It's really very, very similar. The only big differences that I see are this little thing right here. I don't know how well you can see it. Let's see. Oh, shoot. I did it too big, so now you can't see it. Okay, this little thing right here, it looks like a plug. This is an app. So if you need to insert an app, and I don't believe most of you use that on a regular basis. I do because I'm the teacher, so I often use the apps. But if I insert the app, you don't have to do anything with that. But if you wanted to record a video, for example, in Canvas Studio, you could just click on this little plugin right here. That's a little bit different. That's new. You can also find this little plugin. I think it's with the, is it with the tools? Yeah, apps. Okay, so you have a choice of various apps, but I really don't see a strong need for you to have to use that, since you're really not an instructor for the course and you're not designing it. And then there's one other little change, and that is there's such a thing called the HTML editor. You don't need to know this, but HTML is hypertext markup language. Now that little editor has changed. In the old classic editor, you see it right up here in the upper right-hand corner. You see HTML editor. Now, I doubt you have to use that. You probably haven't used it at all ever. I use it all the time because I'm the instructor. So what it does is bring up actual coding language. And sometimes I have to use that to make certain, for example, if I link you all to a website outside of Canvas, and I want that website to open in a second window, which I usually do, I come in here to the hypertext markup language and specify that that new page is to open in a new browser tab, because the default in Canvas is to open it in the same page, and then you lose your canvas that way. So at any rate, I doubt you'll have to use it, but if you did have to use the HTML editor, in the classic rich content editor, you would find it in the upper right-hand corner. But in the new rich content editor, you see it in the lower right-hand corner. Here, where these two little taglines, they look like an arrow, like so. Do you all see where my cursor is pointing?
Yes.
Great. Okay, so that's the new HTML editor. And when you click on it, all you see is lines of code. You could also see it if you go to View, Raw HTML Editor. And again, I don't think you'll have to use this button. I would be very surprised if any of you have used it. In fact, let me know, have any of you used it? Raise your hand. Yeah, it's not really something, I don't think students really have to know about it so much as teachers. Instructors need to know about it because we want our pages to do certain things. Okay, so any questions on the difference, the new content editor so far?
And teacher, is it normally they are automatically revised for the new version or no?
It's my understanding,
Rita,
that's a good question.
Update?
Good question. I was just going to show you, if you'd like to practice using the new content editor, I'm going to show you how you can do that now. But it's my understanding that on the 18th, as of December 18th, all of the Canvas accounts will automatically switch over to the new content editor, and students will not have to change it. It will automatically change. If you want to use it ahead of time and get used to it, it's not necessary. It's not mandatory. But if you wanted to, first of all, let me cancel this. And I'm going to show you how you can do that. If you wanted to switch over to the new content editor now, you would go to, on your course homepage, you would go to Settings. And remember, this is being recorded. This Zoom meeting is being recorded. So if I'm moving a little fast, you will be able to go back and re-watch this video. Also, I know that within a week or two, the continuing education department is going to be creating videos for students on how to use the new content editor. So don't panic, it'll be smooth and you'll be fine. If you wanted to change over now, first you would go to Settings, and then you would click on, I believe it's Feature Options. And you can see, do you see how, hopefully you can see RCE enhancements, third from the bottom. Can any of you see that?
Yes.
Good, good. So in order to switch to the new content editor now, you would toggle it on. And there's, I'll show you in this one. In the course that I don't have it, I'm not using it yet. I'll show you how to do it. Oops. Okay. So once again, I would go to Settings. So once I'm in settings, can anyone tell me where to go next?
And feature option.
Let me give you a hint. It's in the upper
Feature
right-hand corner. Feature options.
options.
Yep, feature options.
RCE enhancement.
And then I'm going to go to RCE enhancements. That's right, Rita. And I'm going to toggle it on. You see how right now it's got this X? I'll toggle it on. Now, here's something really nice about the new content editor. You can save your work. This is something new. In the past, if you've been working in the rich content editor and you lose internet connectivity for a moment, or you accidentally bounce off the page, you lose your text. But if you enable this, the RCE autosave, which I'm going to go ahead and do that, your text is automatically saved for 1 hour. So this is important if you want to work on a paragraph, for example, where you're writing and you don't want to lose what you've written. So that's a really nice feature, and it is only available with the new content editor. So once again, that's called the RCE autosave, RCE for Rich Content Editor autosave. If you toggle that on, your work will automatically be saved for an hour. So now that means, of course, if you leave your computer and you go make dinner and you come back and it's been like 2 hours, you would lose your work if you don't submit it. But if you just for a moment you're distracted and or for some reason your internet connectivity is lost or you bounce yourself off the page, if you enable that RCE autosave, your work will automatically be saved for up to an hour. So you would return to the page in the assignment and your content will still be there. That's really nice. Okay, any questions?
I'm sorry, it's renew automatically, yes?
Very good.
You mean the RCE autosave, Natalia?
No, the system renew automatically?
Yes. As of December 18th, this rich content editor will be the only editor available. You will no longer have access to the classic editor. And it's very similar. They're very, very similar. But at first you might think, oh, I can't, what do I do? How do I do this? How do I do that? So I'm also, apart from this Zoom video, I'm also going to place a tutorial video on our homepage, like on December 17th, so that when you go to our homepage, you can watch that how-to video with the new content editor, and that will be right there for you. We also have a Word document that shows you the difference between the two editors. I'm going to link that on our homepage, but I'm not going to do that until about the 17th of December, because I think it would be confusing for students who can't attend a Zoom meeting if they see all of this information before they need it.
Okay.
Any other questions? I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking during this particular meeting, which is good because now we're going to